Last time we checked, the bees were roughly 2/3 through the first brood box, and it was suggested by Mark at Hunt's Honey that when they're 3/4 filled, put the other box on so they have room to grow. This time out, I have no partner, so I rigged up some little thing to hold the pad so that it could take the video. You may be able to see some smoke coming from the lower left. We got a smoker, which is supposed to help calm the bees. So that's giving me a little bit of confidence to try it solo. I also no longer have my father-in-law's bug jacket, so until mine arrives, we're just going with veil, gloves, and jacket. If I run away screaming, it's because I'm getting stung. So we're going to start by taking off the lid, and you can see the bees unfortunately have started to build some of their comb in a spot where we don't really want it. So we're going to give them some smoke. That is agitating them a little bit. You can hear, maybe you can hear the buzzing, but you can also see all the bees vacating this area of the comb. So hopefully we'll have enough that we can remove that appropriately and, I don't know, display it for everybody's wonderful enjoyment, because it's not going back in the box. I'll use the tool here to pry off the lid. Since last time they've sealed it up pretty good, which is appropriate. Bees like to keep their hive airtight. These guys are pretty agitated right now, and it looks like that comb is coming straight through the hive. Oh, I'm going to show you this. So you can see, obviously there's bees on there, but you can also see there's some honey in that comb. So that's pretty cool. So we're just going to get the bees off of this guy. We're just going to shake them off. These last few off. And hopefully, oh, they're really in there, aren't they? Those girls. Okay, we're going to put this off to the side back here because we want to show the ladies that when they get home from school and work and all that other good stuff. We're going to pry this guy off, and you can see there's quite a few bees building comb on top of the lid. Also not the place we want them to be. No pun intended. So last time we checked the hive, let me just get my smoker here. Last time we checked the hive, can you hear that buzz when I squirt them? Last time we checked the hive, the bees were not at all in the outside of the comb of the box. So I'm going to check these last couple of frames just to make sure they're building and occupying these last spaces appropriately. I use my hive tool and try to get down in there just enough so that I can hopefully lift that guy out of there without squishing too many of the girls. You can't get away without squishing any of them, obviously. There's far too many. So they're going pretty good on that comb. They're just starting on that frame rather, but there's quite a few, as you can see, ladies working away. There's that screw I dropped when we put the box in. I can see it down the bottom there. Nice to know where it is. We'll never get that back. So let's check the next one. We'll just loosen it up here. And this time we'll do it smartly and get the frame where I can grab and hold. I really need another one of those tools that has a little hook on the end. Oh, so this frame is interesting. Interesting because it's a lot fuller. You can see on that side it looks only the top, but on that side you can see all kinds of bees starting to build the comb, and it's full of honey in there. You can see all kinds of liquid, which is good. We're just going to put this guy back. Sorry ladies, I'm going to squish some of you. Good thing there's 50,000 more. So you can see they're starting to not like me very much. So let's give them another squirt. Give me another squirt. This is when the smoker goes out. It's awesome. So my job today was to put that box on, but I want to check a couple more of these frames just because it seems to be going okay. And I really want to make sure, have something to show, maybe show Mark what's going on. Oh, that one's pretty full. A lot of cap stuff at the top, which is interesting, but most of these cells are open still. No idea what that means. I'll have to look that up later while I'm not being swarmed by all these bees. Now, it looks like they've put a couple of these frames together with their comb. So I'm not going to get too much there. I'm going to scrape off some of this stuff because I don't want the two boxes sticking together. I don't really want bees building on top. They're not going to like this a whole lot. So if ever I was going to get stung, this is when that's going to happen. However, I love it when they get their stingers stuck in your glove, because then they just buzz and they can't get away. It feels weird. Now, they definitely don't like this so much. Well, I don't think I'd like someone coming after my house with a scraper either. So, I think I should scrape it off here too. Sorry ladies, all that work, I know. But I don't want you building on the lid. Not much smoke coming out of my smoker anymore. That's unfortunate because I'm not done. So I don't like that, but it is what it is. Alright, so this here is called a queen excluder. So all the workers can go through those holes, but the queen cannot. And the idea is that with these flow frames, you keep the queen down in her brood box. And, sorry ladies, let me in here please. So there we go. They'll seal that up quite good once they make their way back into the home. We'll put this guy on top. Keep the queen where the queen is supposed to be. Again, the pun is entirely intended. And hopefully they'll stay off the top of this box this time. There's quite a few in the lid still. I don't want them in there at all. way they get out. So note to self, next time we do the smoker, more fluid, fuel, whatever, so that it stays lit longer. Alright, that's most of them. I'm not going to get them all. Hopefully they'll crawl back down in their hole. But that's about all I wanted to do today. You can see, and I'll get the camera on this fancy little it's going to jolt for a while, I apologize. You can see, here's all the bees on the ground that I shook. The hope is that they'll find their way back over to the hive. And you can see the door of the hive, how many are there now. Super agitated, and for you, Steve, we'll get super close. So you can see the bees and you can hear the hum. Now you'll notice some of those bees, there's one up the top here, has a whole lot of pollen on his legs. That's kind of cool. And that's what you want. Now, while I'm here, let me see if I can get this back in so that you can see. While I'm here, I'm going to remove some of this plant because I think it's blocking their use of the hive. And this is bleeding heart, so it's going to grow back. Just peachy keen. So don't you need to worry about that. I think I'm even talking like a hick. Alright, that's all we were going to do today. I'll come back and clean up that comb that's on the ground in a little while, once the bees are a little calm. Hopefully that was interesting for some of you. It was kind of cool to see that they've pretty much filled up that bottom brood box. And we opted for not installing the super today. The super is the box you get the honey out of, but rather putting another brood box on so that it's a large and healthy hive come our wonderful cold fall and winter season. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed.